25,000 men and women work for the UK border. At home and abroad, their job is to seek out the lawbreakers and imposters who don't act like them. They are the UK border. Tonight, stowaways get boxed in at Calais.
All right there, gentlemen. Where are you from? Afghanistan.
Illegal workers with incredible stories.
You say you arrived last night on a lorry and you walk straight in here to a job and he says he's 15.
And a bad reaction to being stopped at Heathrow.
I've never been violated. My clothes have never been thrown out.
You're not going to calm down. I'll put it back in the holding room.
Now you're talking to me. I've been here since 11 o'clock.
France is the port most favoured by migrants trying to enter Britain. UK border agency officers work round the clock checking for clandestines, illegal immigrants stowing away in freight.
We will have a look.
They find 19,000 clandestines a year who have managed to slip past truck drivers and hide in their
You
luggage.
may get a penalty for bringing clandestines into the UK control zone. Before you come here, check your vehicle yourself.
The port is a pressure point, with an estimated 1,000 migrants waiting for their chance to get to Britain and living in a squatter camp they call the jungle. Here the clandestines swap information and plot their next attempt to cross the channel illegally. They play a cat-and-mouse game at the UK border agency. Part of a team starting the early shift are immigration officers Lee Harper and Jules Turner.
Clear the rear.
They know the tricks commonly used by clandestines.
A big seal.
They've stopped a lorry that looks like it's been tampered with and want the driver to open up.
Well, what he's done is just gone to take his padlock off, and as he's taking the padlock off, he's actually noticed that it's broken. So it could be an indication that someone's cut the padlock and glued it back together basically and gone through the side door. But we won't actually know until we open the door and go in ourselves.
We're going to open it.
The truck's load is yogurts, and inside it's as cold as a fridge.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You cold?
Yeah, you're cold.
Hello. Shoes on. Shoes.
Everybody?
Put your shoes on.
Oh, God. I'm getting yoghurt all over me. Okay, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sammy? Got 12.
12. Alright.
12 people that we can see at the moment in the back of the lorry.
But there are more hiding in the corner at the back.
Sammy?
Yeah.
Can you make that 17?
70. Okay.
Where are you from?
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan?
Yes.
All of you?
All bro.
Okay.
One chance.
Not today, my friend.
For every clandestine found, the driver can face a penalty of £2,000, so it's in his interest to keep his vehicles secure.
Because I don't park outside on the street, I park inside on the services and pay the €7 for the parking.
Although the driver parked in a secure area, 17 Afghans managed to break into his truck, and it would appear an accomplice fixed the padlock from the outside.
They've used a pair of bolt cutters on it, and what it looks like they've done is just push it straight back in and maybe even glued it together so it looks like it's a whole padlock again.
For the clandestines, getting caught is an occupational hazard. Some will keep on having a go, however long it takes.
How many times have you tried?
1 year.
You've been here a year?
Yeah, 1 year. The jungle.
You stay in the jungle?
Yeah. Crazy.
Crazy?
Yeah, 1 year.
I think a lot of them have been through it before. We find the same people time and time again at the moment because obviously our controls are much stronger than they have been in a long time. So we are seeing the same faces. So they know the routine as well as we do.
For Failing to prevent 17 clandestines from breaching his truck's security, the driver was fined £1,700. The freight company was fined £2,500. Clandestines rarely carry travel documents and so avoid being removed from France. They are simply escorted from the port and are free to return to their makeshift camp. Despite living in appalling conditions, the clandestines believe the jungle is a better option than the countries they are fleeing.
My family is very poor, so I have 5 brothers and sisters, and my parents are old, they can't do jobs, so that's why I come here to Europe, so I can help them.
This man has travelled from Kashmir in search of a better life, and like all the clandestines, he imagines the UK is the place to find it.
If I go over there, I will marry. After marrying, I will get paper. After paper, I will get job. I will have a house, have a child, and have a family, and have a peaceful life.
But for those who do make it across the Channel, life in Britain can often fall short of the dream. Coming up, the enforcement team catch up with a clandestine repeat offender.
It doesn't justify you coming here for the second time illegally, does it? Why would you think that would be right?
And a case of deception at Heathrow.
You said that you met him 10 years ago in New York.
I did not say I met him 10 years ago in New York.
You said you met him 10 years ago in New York. I've got it written down here.
The UK Border Agency man all entry points into Britain to make sure only legitimate travellers get into the country. But some get through illegally, and many visitors stay longer than they should. It's estimated there are up to 1 million illegal immigrants living in the UK. Today in Stoke, an enforcement team led by immigration officer Phil Arthur is planning raids on car washes believed to be employing illegal workers.
This morning we're going to car washes, all very local to the office here. The first of which is Bubbles Hand Car Wash. When we enter, straight in, and it's going to be very dynamic, guys. We want to get right out of the vehicles and straight into them. Okay, thanks ladies and gentlemen, see you out there.
Enforcement teams around Britain have their work cut out keeping tabs on car washes. They are start-up businesses that can appear overnight and offer low-paid casual work, appealing to workers who are not entitled to be here.
Most city centres nowadays have quite a lot of these establishments. The problem is that at the end of the day, these people are either illegally in the UK and or illegally working in the UK.
It's usually Afghans, Iraqis, that's the sort of person we get working illegally. So we don't expect these people to be paid the minimum wage, don't expect any working time directives to be met by the employer. It's just a case of exploitation once again. It's trying to shut these places down.
A car wash is the kind of place clandestines who've beaten the checks in Calais can end up working. It can be a far cry from the life they hoped for in England.
Watch your feet, Carl, and they're slippy, mate.
Hello there, sir. How are you? We're from immigration.
Okay, we've got a warrant issued by the courts to be here this morning. We just need to establish your identity, nationality and status in the UK, all right?
There are 3 employees. If they have the right to work in the UK, they should be known to the Home Office.
Okay, you come this way then. When were you born? Yeah, Pakistan. Are you illegal or illegal in the UK? Legal. You have a visa?
Yeah. I am stay here in this country.
Yeah?
Checks against the database confirm this man has a British wife and is allowed to work, and that his Pakistani colleague has indefinite leave to remain in the UK. But the records relating to the third worker are less straightforward. He has a checkered history with the Border Force.
The last time you entered the UK, when was that?
Yeah, he's okay. Yeah.
About 1 month ago.
The man was caught living illegally in Britain 2 years ago. He opted for AVR, Assisted Voluntary Return, a European scheme that gave him a free flight home and £500 cash.
The Aviard, a month later, got married in Iraq to a British lady.
Okay.
He says he's come in a month ago again after voluntarily returning.
After the man was returned to Iran, he travelled to Iraq and married a British woman. He then came back to the UK, hidden in the back of a lorry.
How did he come in? Did he say he told us?
Illegally.
Okay.
Yeah,
He came in illegally, even though he's married and he's...
Yeah, he apparently he's applied to come in legally and not been allowed.
Right.
So he's come in illegally.
So he's coming in illegally and he's living with his wife at
He's
this moment
living
in time.
with his wife in Silverdale.
Officer Sean Flaherty wants to know why the man took AVR only to come back again as an illegal entrant.
We have laws for a reason. You apply for a visa, you're refused a visa, and then you completely decide to disregard UK law and enter the country illegally. Why would you think that would be right at all?
Nothing else I could do.
Well, stay in your country.
I would stay in my country. It's just how about if my wife, if she didn't stay with me? If she doesn't like it, the culture, she didn't like it, the religion, she didn't like it, then nothing, you know.
If your wife's got difficulties living there for whatever reasons, then that's between you and your wife. But it doesn't justify you coming here for the second time illegally, does it? If you're refused a visa, it means you're not being allowed to come into the United Kingdom. It doesn't mean, here's a green light, go and get in the back of a lorry and come in illegally. That's not the way it works.
I'm arresting you now as an illegal entrant to the UK. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention, when questioned, something you later rely on in court. Just like to stand up for me, this gentleman's just going to give you a quick search.
Okay. He did return to Iran originally under the voluntary assisted removal programme. A majority of voluntary removals under that programme do get a financial assistance to reintegrate back in their own country. So he's had that, possibly. And then he comes back in illegally. Not going to get a refund, are we?
Hi. You the owner? I spoke to you on the phone. Yes. I'm Carl. I'm an immigration officer, okay? Right.
If the owner of the car wash can't prove he's made the required checks on the man, he could be fined up to £10,000 for employment.
If you want, he's married with the English woman, right? She comes every day here to pick him up.
I fully understand that, sir. I don't have a problem. That's exactly what he's told us.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that unless you should keep a record and you should keep a copy for yourself.
Yeah, but
so that if a situation like this arises, then you can show us some copies of your...
Yeah, but the thing is, sir, right, this is not a big business, right?
No, absolutely, fully understand that. How long have you been working here, sir?
About 5-6 months.
So 5-6 months is a long time not to have a record, isn't it?
I wasn't here, but the thing is, right, don't get me wrong, I've been brought up in this country, like, if I've got a national insurance number, right,
it actually says on the card now, so do be aware of that. It's not proof of identity. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for your time this morning.
The owner of the car wash was fined £5,000 for employing an illegal worker. And even though the man admitted to coming twice into the UK illegally, he was later released. He remains on reporting conditions while the Home Office consider his case. But the day is young, and the team have another car wash in their sights. In Calais, hundreds of migrants gather near the port and live rough in the jungle, their camp in the woods outside town. In their eyes, it's the last stop before realizing their dream to cross the channel illegally and reach the UK. With 3,000 lorries passing through every day, there are plenty of opportunities to hitch an illicit ride. Chief Immigration Officer Tammy Richer and her team offer up a line of defence.
Some assistance on 4, please.
They check trucks waiting to board the ferries. They use carbon dioxide probes to detect clandestines breathing inside.
That's good.
Officer Richer gets word that colleagues have found some clandestines.
How many have you got? 7.
A high CO2 reading gave them away, hiding in a consignment of alcohol. Officer Darren Stamati is on hand to escort them off the load.
7.
clandestines at the moment, Afghanistan's. Generally what happens, whenever we enter a load, they ask us if one chance to go to the UK. I don't know why they think that they're going to get that, but I think they just try it. They always seem to be in fairly good spirits, but that can change at any point because some of these people, you know, they can be fairly desperate to get to the UK.
Just 2 at a time.
Can I have you and you, please? Can you move out to the vehicle? So where do you live in Calais?
Out of the jungle.
Yeah?
Yes. Under the tree. You know a tree?
Under the tree?
Yeah.
In the jungle? Yeah. 2 more? Okay. There's just this belief that in England, it's just a place they all seem to want to go to. They're not happy to stay here. They just want to go to England.
Yes.
Why do you want to go to England?
Because problem in Afghanistan, very big problem.
Right.
Yes, sir. Very.
So why England?
Because I want to get knowledge in England. This is
You want to get knowledge?
yes, study in England.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't you think you can get knowledge in France?
Yes, sir. They are not allowed to stay here, to stay here in France.
Okay.
The situation in France is not good, sir.
The belief is in England it's easy to stay for a longer period of time. There's work there, whereas in France, I think they have an understanding they don't get to remain in the country for too long. They're happy to sort of live rough and just try and make a play for the UK. Okay, my friends, go through, watch your head.
Yes.
Because 7 clandestines were found hiding in their load, the freight company was fined £2,800 and the driver £1,400. An average of 50 clandestines a day are stopped trying to cross the channel illegally at Calais. For as long as it remains difficult to deport them, the clandestines will keep returning to the jungle until their next attempt to get past the UK border agency. More than 10 million passengers a year arrive at Heathrow's Terminal 3. Most have a legitimate reason to come into the country.
There you go, thank you.
Thank you. A few simple questions at passport control are usually enough to tell if a passenger's trying to hide something.
2 of you?
Officer Neil Newbury has been doing the job for 4 years and knows an unlikely story when he hears one. Today, he stopped an American visitor who has flown in from New York via Toronto. The man says he's here for a 6-month holiday and to spend time with a friend.
We need to look into your reasons for coming to the UK in a little bit more detail. Okay, that's why you've been stopped today. All right. Sitting up here on.
He has
on the
no
control,
job in the US
access to
and little
television,
money.
telephone.
So Officer Newbury suspects the real reason for his visit is to work.
Do you want to pop a couple of your bags up on the bench for the moment, please? Our passenger. He's 26 years old and he's only got about $450 on him. He decided to look like he's found all his clothes into 4 or 5 suitcases and come to the UK for a really long holiday with just a few $100s on him.
An American tourist is not allowed to work in Britain. Officer Newbury wants to know how the passenger will support himself for 6 months. He calls the passenger's sponsor, the friend he says he's here to stay with.
I need to understand, why are you offering to do all this for Jason? Okay, thanks for that, bye. He's known Jason only for a couple of years. He met in Germany while our sponsor was in the military over there. And Jason apparently was over there visiting friends. They met over there. They've stayed in touch for the last couple of years. The sponsor, he said he's quite happy to pay for everything, which isn't a problem, but I find it so strange that he's prepared to pay for everything for someone that he's known for just a couple of years.
Just news on that guy.
Jason?
Officer Newbury suspects he's not being told the whole truth. Now he wants to question the passenger about his financial dependence on the sponsor.
Are you happy for me to interview you?
No.
What's the problem?
I feel like I've been violated. I never felt
violated?
Like this in my life. Yes.
What have we done to violate you?
What?
What have we done to violate you?
First of all my clothes and stuff was taken out. Like
you never had your bag searched in a foreign country?
Not like that. my wallet. Everybody's been going through my wallet.
On this occasion, you're asking to spend a lot of time in this country, okay? And you don't have much money with you.
I wasn't. How do you know how much money I have in my account?
I don't know. That's what I'm going to start asking you now. So, are you happy for me to interview you?
No. But I'll answer the questions. I'm telling you that I'm not happy. But
I understand you're not happy, but are you prepared to be interviewed by me?
Yes, I'm prepared.
Okay, can you just tell me why you've come to the UK today?
You know, a lot of things been going on at home. I just lost my grandfather. I don't come from a good upbringing in my neighborhood. My friend's been killed and all of that. So I just want to take a vacation.
Where will you stay while you're in the UK?
With Will. He's a long-time friend of my family.
How long have you known Will?
So I've known him over 10 years.
Do you remember where you met him?
I met him in New York. That's where I'm from.
He's told us he's going to be supporting you for up to 6 months while you're in the UK.
Yeah.
Why does he have to support you?
I mean, whatever he's going to pay for, that's on him. But I got my own money.
Will also told me that he's only known you for about 2 years, not 10 years. And he met you in Germany in 2007. Now you've told me that you've known him for 10 years and you met in New York. So I'm a bit confused there as to...
I've known him for a while. I've known Will for a while.
10 years?
Maybe not 10 years, okay? Maybe not 10 years.
Where did you meet him?
In Germany.
You said you met him in New York.
I've met him in New York. He's been in New York before.
Yeah, that's not what I asked you. I asked you, where did you first meet him? You said in New York. He was in New York, I was in New York.
You're confusing me with the questions. You're asking me where did we meet. I'm telling you, I've met him in New York. I've also met him
You said that you met him 10 years ago in New York.
I did not say I met him 10 years ago in New York.
You said you met him 10 years ago in New York. I've got it written down here. That's one of the issues we've got here. I'm trying to work out what these discrepancies are between yourself and this gentleman who's prepared to support you financially for the next 6 months.
I've been to Germany, I've been to Stockholm, I've been to different places, and I've never been violated. My clothes have never been thrown out. You put all my stuff out, then you told me to put all my stuff there. I'm waiting around. No one offered me anything until I got up in the room over there. No one's talking to me, no one's telling me nothing.
I'm talking to you now.
Now you're talking to me. I've been here since 11 o'clock.
You're not going to calm down. I'll put you back in the holding room. I need to confirm the discrepancies between yourself and Will, okay? That's the issue. One of the issues here.
All right, I don't know Will for 10 years. I've only known him for a short period of time, for a couple of years. That's it.
Just say you met in Germany.
Yes.
He's lying to me, you know. And when I caught him out, that's when he started kicking off a little bit. If I was to act like that in America, the way he's been acting with me, I won't get treated half as well as he's been treated since he arrived. Yeah. I don't think he quite appreciates that, to be honest. So he can throw his arms around as much as he wants, but it doesn't change the fact that I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
Coming up, another car wash in Stoke, where the truth is a grey area.
Ask your friend to confirm how old he is.
15.
What?
15 years old, with grey hair.
And the Bangladeshi graduate with little to show for 6 years of studying.
Business work. That's a module in a postgraduate diploma is called business work.
At Heathrow, the American who's arrived for a 6-month holiday is waiting to hear if he'll be allowed into the UK. The passenger and his sponsor are telling two very different stories. Officer Newbury updates his boss, Sarah Dyson.
Now, there's big discrepancies about how long these two have known each other, where they met, okay? He believes Will is still in the military, but the sponsor hasn't been in the military for over a year.
They hardly know anything about
each other. They don't know him. He's estimated £3,500 to support our passenger for the next 6 months.
Don't believe a word.
No, I think he's telling me what he thinks I want to hear to land this passenger.
What I really am more interested in is his current domestic and financial circs in USA.
He did admit to me it's very hard to get a job in America at the moment, even with someone with a college degree.
The more accurate way of putting it is that he's currently unemployed without any fixed employment in the US. Okay, and he's not intending to work in the near future in the US because he's taken a plane here for 6 months. And I think we should give him one more opportunity to be straight. I want you to ask him for a straightforward explanation as to why they two of them cannot agree on how long they've known each other and where they met. And then come back and we'll make a final decision.
Okay. Follow me for a second. Just exit in the corner for me, okay? If it's possible, can you explain the discrepancies between what you're telling us and what Will's been telling us?
Because everything was just like, yo, I'm gonna come out there, blase, whatever. I didn't know that I was gonna be interrogated like this.
Yeah, but it's things like how long you've known each other and where you first met. You should know that kind of stuff if you know someone.
I made it seem like I knew him longer than what, but I know Will. Like, come on, man. Like, this is like, why would I take a flight to another country with a dude that I don't even know?
Well, that's the question that we've been asking, yeah?
Yeah, but I'm a grown man. I can make my own decisions. Like,
that's fine, but
like I know Will. I don't know him 10 years, but I know Will.
We have to go by what people tell us. When people tell us different things, makes us question everything that they're telling us. That's the issue here, okay?
Yes.
Okay. He said he was exaggerating. I said, why? I didn't think I'd be asked.
I don't think it's just this one discrepancy that concerns me, but it's this passenger's entire domestic circumstances. There is no doubt in my mind, I am satisfied that had he thought he could, he would have come here to find a job, and that was his primary intention in travelling to the UK. I don't consider him to be a visitor to this country or a tourist. I think you're going to need to refuse him entry.
Yep. Okay, Jason, you want to come out a second, please? Just stand here a second for me, okay? Well, I spoke to Chief Immigration Officer. I've told them what you've told me, and they've decided that on the evidence that we've got from you today and from Will today, you're going to be refused entry. Okay? So we're going to have to return you back to the US on the next available flight via Toronto. The next flight isn't until tomorrow at midday. Okay? Got to go through with Air Canada.
This is crazy.
Okay?
This is crazy, man.
So what we're going to do, we're going to get somewhere for you to get some shut-eye. Okay? You're not going to stay here overnight. We'll do whatever we can to get you somewhere a bit more comfortable. Yes. Wow, that's a relief.
The passenger was held in a detention centre overnight and put on a flight home the next day.
All right.
In Stoke, the enforcement team are going after illegal workers.
Okay guys, 30 seconds and we'll be there.
They've already made one arrest. Now they're about to surprise the employees of a second car.
Yeah, no worries. Morning. Alright, with immigration and police, we've got a warrant to search these premises. Just need to get everybody's identity, nationality, and see where we go from there. Alright, mate. Okay, guys, come this way.
The team round up the workers and use 2 rooms in the office to question them about their immigration status.
Okay, who've we got here then? Morning, speak English, lads? No? Any English at all? Pushtu. Okay.
One employee can speak English and he's happy to interpret his colleagues' incredible claims.
What's your date of birth?
He says, I don't know the day, but he says I'm 15 or something, he's 15, 16, something like that. 50? No, 50, 15.
50?
15, 1-5.
What?
He says that.
Alright then. Can you ask him what country he's born in?
Here. He's from Afghanistan.
Can you ask your friend again to confirm how old he is?
Who? Huh? He says 15.
15 years old?
Yeah.
With grey hair?
With grey hair.
Can you just ask him his address for me?
He said, I've just come last night.
Can you just ask him how he got here to the UK?
He says, I've just come from Calais from here and the Lorry.
In a lorry?
Yeah.
Next door, another Afghani worker is being checked out.
Can you just ask the lady?
Sorry?
What's his date of birth?
And it appears a common theme is emerging.
He says I'm 15.
15?
Yeah.
When did he arrive in the UK?
He says I'm coming last night.
And you say you arrived last night on a lorry, and you walked straight in here to a job first thing this morning? We've struggled to get a Pashto interpreter, so we've using the gentleman here who's been very helpful. We're speaking to this lad here, but he claims to have arrived here last night in the early hours of the morning on a lorry from France. And he says he's 15.
Me?
I'm arresting you on suspicion of entering the UK without leave. You don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence. If you don't mention, when questioned, something which you later on in court. You are now, Ismail, you are now under arrest.
Both men claiming to be 15 are arrested as they've admitted entering the country illegally. As they're claiming to be children, their ages will have to be assessed by the social services.
You just take that as written.
One of the remaining workers is a Pakistani national who is here on a student visa. However, he admits he is not doing any studying at all.
Claims he's only started working here today, so he's working but not studying.
Will this one do?
And he gets paid £15 a day.
Yes, it will.
That's for 10 hours.
Despite seeking refuge in their own communities, illegal immigrants can find life in Britain very different from the dream. And for those who believe they've beaten the system, reality can hit at any time with the arrival of an enforcement team.
I'm going to arrest you now. He's not even entered to the UK. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence. You do not mention when questioned something you later around in court.
The Afghani who's been so helpful acting as an interpreter is a failed asylum seeker and should have left the UK. Now he faces the reality of going home.
I live long time in this country, no crime, nothing. But I can't live in Afghanistan now because if you saw me, my brain is already from here, not from Afghanistan. You see the.
I understand that, but you know when you're here illegally, there's always a chance that you'll be sent
I know
back.
I'm legal.
I appreciate what you're saying, but there's nothing I can say is going to help me now.
I do nothing. I just work, sleep, home. That's it. You know.
Morning's still young, really. I mean, there were 5 employees there, and we've taken 4 out. This guy who owns this place looking at, upwards of £40,000 in penalties, which is a considerable amount. Yeah, I'm quite satisfied actually. 5 out for morning's work. Happy.
Okay guys, let's go.
The Afghani worker who helped to interpret won himself a reprieve. He put in a fresh application and was given permission to live in the UK. The student who was working instead of studying was detained and removed back to Pakistan. The 2 Afghani men claiming to be 15 were assessed to be over 18. One was detained and removed from the UK, but as the other had no travel documents, he was released on bail and has since absconded. The owner was fined £20,000, but targeting the people who make the serious money out of illegal working is not so easy.
The people who we encounter, they won't give us the names of the agents, they won't tell us the routes they come in, because they're more scared of the agents than they are of us. But these people don't see that they're being used and they're actually victims in all of this. They're being exploited, they've been paid peanuts, they've paid thousands of pounds to come to the UK. Unfortunately, very rarely we get them to speak to us and to give us better information so we can get to the heads of these organisations instead of just cherry picking these guys off all the time.
At Heathrow, a Bangladeshi man has been stopped at passport control after flying in with his new wife.
If you can just break down your colleges for me. So in 2003...
He has been living in the UK as a student for the last 6 years, attending 4 different colleges. But 3 of the 4 colleges are now known by the UK Border Agency to be bogus. Before his colleges were exposed as fake, the passenger got a place on the International Graduate Scheme, which allows him to work.
Has my colleague explained the situation and the reasons that we've detained you?
Officer Tim Weatherall takes on the case.
The problem that we have.
He wants to find out if the man's qualifications are genuine.
He's aware he's in a bit of trouble, hence why we've stopped him. I would imagine that from the point of view as them as a couple, they're probably quite worried about the fact they're going to be separated, but if she qualifies for entry, she will be allowed to proceed.
There's a lot at stake for the couple. The wife is eligible to enter the
video,
UK.
is it, yeah?
She is American, and this is her first time here.
Just head round this way.
And she doesn't want to be without her new husband.
At the moment, if you wish to stay in here together, you can, or you can either proceed downstairs or you can wait outside. Okay, but I'm going to let you know now, if it's the case that you are refused entry after we've done our investigations, you won't have a choice, okay? You will be landed and you will be refused, so you won't be able to stay together. I would suggest that you prepare for the worst case scenario, if that is appropriate, and then you work out what you're going to do. Because at the end of the day, that's your decision, yeah?
The newlyweds will only come into Britain together if the husband can prove he's a genuine graduate. But it will take some convincing. Officer Weatherall has a thick file of evidence against the college that issued his qualifications.
We've encountered so many students from this particular college, and at the end of the day, most of them have just admitted that they've never actually studied there at all. They've never gone to any classes. Some of them haven't actually ever been to the college. They just paid the money to get the certificate to get an extension of stay in the UK. Well, I've yet to encounter personally a student who has actually been to the college and studied there. He may be the first. You never know. Stranger things have happened, but I'm not holding out much hope in this case. I'm just going to go through and interview you now, okay? So just follow me through this way. Just head in there, grab a seat on the far side. We haven't just stopped you on a hunch here. As I explained to you, we've got a lot of information about yourself and about the college and about the types of course that were on it, okay? And did you actually attend the Westminster College of Computing 4 days a week?
Yeah.
So how many modules did you take then?
I think 4.
What were they all called?
One is business work.
Business work.
Yeah.
That's a module in a postgraduate diploma is called business work.
Yeah.
Okay, next.
I can't remember.
So you can remember one of your 4 modules.
I can't remember.
Did you take exams? And I'm guessing you can probably only remember 1 or 2. Can't remember anything? Not even the ones that you mentioned before?
No.
This is a 45-page document, yeah? I've got 45 pages there which prove to me that any degree that obtained from Westminster College of Computing is completely bogus. You need to start being very honest with me, or you're going to have a much bigger problem than you do now. You haven't, sir. I don't believe you.
I swear to God.
The fact is, looking back through the colleges you've studied at, all of them are known to immigration for being problem colleges. So I have real issues with the fact that you've ever studied here at all.
I've done some computer course as well.
Here or?
Oh yeah.
When were they?
That was in Stoke, I think.
College. Another college that's been closed down for issuing bogus certificates.
Is it?
Yeah. It's not looking good for you, is it?
Coming up, clandestines up their game in Calais.
They've taken the slats from the side of the lorry and then repositioned the boxes back across the top of themselves.
And the newlyweds face an early separation at Heathrow.
I'm not happy with you. You will be detained by immigration until we get to the bottom of it, okay?
At Terminal 3, it's not looking good for the newlyweds who hope to enter Britain together. The husband, a serial student of bogus colleges, has said nothing in interview to convince Officer Weatherall he's a genuine graduate.
We're happy with your wife, she's going to be allowed through. She's not going to be allowed to stay with you. I'm not happy with you, you will be detained by immigration until we get to the bottom of it, okay? So you need to decide where she's going to go. That's your problem, not mine, okay?
Before deciding the passenger's fate, Officer Weatherall must refer the case to his Chief Immigration Officer, Mo Ghaffar.
Basically, I don't believe a word he's saying. Yeah, I mean, bottom line, I think he's lying through his teeth. I don't believe a word he's told me.
I think we've got substantial information in relation to the fact that he studied at an institution that has closed down. We'll land his wife, and then we'll go from there. All right, Timothy, thanks, thank you.
Okay, right, I spoke to my Chief Immigration Officer. Your wife, we're happy to allow to proceed. She's going to be landed, she's been granted leave to enter. With regards to yourself, the decision's been taken by myself and the Chief Immigration Officer to refuse you entry into the UK today, okay, and to cancel your UK residence permit. You have the right to appeal in country, or you have the right to appeal from Bangladesh. That choice is up to you.
The husband chooses to appeal from the UK. This usually means being held in a detention centre while the appeal is considered, but there are exceptions.
Considering that he has his wife with him, it seems only reasonable to give him temporary admission. I don't consider him to be an absconder at this stage, and if he wishes to fight his case, then let him take his chances in court. She probably doesn't even know what the husband's been up to in the United Kingdom. She didn't expect to be stopped at immigration control and then be asked questions by an immigration officer as to why she was coming to the UK. If I was the wife of this particular passenger, I'd be pretty upset. I'd be asking my husband, what have you been doing?
The husband is granted temporary admission, but he loses his appeal and is put on a flight back to Bangladesh. In Calais, the trucks keep on coming. They bring 20 million tons of freight through the port every year. Rich pickings for migrants intent on getting into the UK illegally. Not every truck can be searched, and no one knows how many clandestines make it across the channel. But 19,000 a year get caught at the Calais checkpoints. With so many failing, they look for ever more ingenious methods of concealment. And the search teams have to get wise to them.
We've come in the lorry, and as you can see, there's a flat load in here. Obviously, there's a distinct smell of clandestines. So we just had a quick look on further inspection. Underneath the boxes here, you'll just see that we've got a purpose-built hide. Probably the illegals have made themselves. They've taken the slats from the side of the lorry and then obviously repositioned the boxes back across the top of themselves. All right there, gentlemen. Where are you from? Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran? Afghanistan. Speak English? No, speak English. You speak a little bit, don't you? Yeah, which one of you speaks English? Gentlemen, hello? Take your hoods down.
Okay, what we've actually got in there is officers went in, the load is flat, but there's a strong smell that we tend to get with the clandestines.
As soon as we undid the back door, you get the smell of the illegals. It's an unwashed bonfire smell. These people have been living rough for months, so you know you generally get that nasty odour. But yeah, it's always the giveaway. Someone's smoking.
Put it out.
Put that out. Wherever you're smoking, put that out. Wait,
put it out.
Whoever that is, put that out. Come on, first one.
You stay here.
How you come on, mate?
Come on, out.
There are 6 clandestines, all from Afghanistan. It looks like some of them are trying to get to Britain on a regular, perhaps even daily basis.
I think he was one of our 17 yesterday, Tam. Tam, yeah. The next one coming out? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, he was. The last clandestine that's just come out was one that we detected in a find of 17 in the yoghurt lorry yesterday. He's got yoghurt on the back of his coat and his trousers.
Okay, give me a foot. Good foot. Take a good one. And away you go.
We see the same clandestines regularly. Not every day, but we might see them over a week or 2 week period. We might see them 2 or 3 times. At the moment we're seeing people and they're telling us that they've been living in the jungle for anything up to a year at the moment. They're still here, we're still finding them, so we will see the same people time and time again.
Fines served on the freight company and driver add up to more than £6,000. But the clandestines are yet again free to leave the port and return to the jungle. And as the search teams can't check every truck, and with clandestines trying their luck every day, there'll always be some who slip through the net and enter Britain illegally. 25,000 men and women work for the UK border guards. At home and abroad, their job is to seek out the lawbreakers and imposters who don't have a right to be. They are the UK border guards. Tonight, the fraudsters trying to cheat their way out of Nigeria.
Do you know this person?
No.
This person is your cousin.
It's a risky business in Calais.
Hello, mate. Hey, hello.
And in London's West End, enforcement officers question a Mongolian chef.
We can't find any trace in your systems. You're not able to show me a passport. I find it all quite difficult to believe, yeah?
In the past 10 years, Glasgow has become a hotspot for migrants. A recent report found at least 70 different nationalities now living in the city. Not all of these newcomers are here legally. The UK Border Agency has enforcement teams who seek out immigration offenders and remove them from Britain. But their job is made harder by a racket in forged documentation worth millions, helping illegal immigrants to hide under false identities.
Hi there, can you open the door please? There's no mic behind it. Hi there, it's immigration, can you open the door please?
Immigration officer Kerry McVeigh and her team are at the address of a man they believe has overstayed his visa by more than a year.
Sir, I can't see you standing there. Open the door now. We have a warrant to enter the premises, so if you don't open the door, we will force it.
The target today is a man named John Moses.
Hi there.
It's immigration, if you just want to order me, please.
Have a chat with you, okay? Is there anyone else on the premises?
Sorry?
Denzel's living there. Okay, what's your name, sir?
My name is Olatunde.
Olatunde.
Olatunde Ishola.
And your date of birth?
26. 26 of
26 of what? What month? You're not giving me a date of birth. Can you sit down for me? Sit down.
No, I just want to tell you.
Who's that person? Mr. John Moses?
That's my uncle.
That's your uncle?
Yeah.
And where is your uncle at the moment?
She's not around. I mean, he's not around. He's
not around. Are you sure it's not you?
No, it's my uncle.
Alright, okay.
Are you going to give me a date of birth, Olatunde?
I don't know. No, I don't know because I don't.
Okay, have you got a passport?
My house.
Passport?
Sorry?
Do you have your passport in this address?
I lost my passport.
You lost your passport. Have you got a photocopy? Any identification whatsoever?
Identification? I lost my passport.
Right, can you just listen to me just now, Olatunde, okay? I'm arresting you as a suspected immigration offender, okay? You're not obliged to say anything, but anything you do say will be noted and may be used in evidence at a later stage. You're now under arrest. The target that we had, he was asked about, do you know that person? And he claimed it was his uncle and he's not here at the moment. And he couldn't provide any further details as to that. We didn't have a photograph of the actual target we were coming for, therefore we can't sort of positively or negatively say that it's him or not.
He claims to have no form of ID, something the enforcement team have heard many times before. A valid document will confirm if he's telling the truth or not.
Oh. Okay, we've now found a South African passport with the gentleman that we have arrested's photograph in it and the name Patrick Agbo, but I believe that that passport's not genuine. He's told us he's from Nigeria and his photograph is now in a South African passport, and now we have evidence that the gentleman we have arrested has been using the name Patrick Agbo. May not be his real name, but we know he's been using it.
Yes?
It's not my own.
That's not yours. I'll remind you that you're under arrest, okay? You're under caution, so anything you do say will be noted and maybe used in evidence, okay? So I'm going to ask you now, is this your passport?
It's not my passport.
It has your picture in it.
It's not me.
That is your picture.
It's not my picture. That is not my passport. I'm not the one inside. I'm not the one outside.
Can I just maybe point out that you do have a marking on your face which is also present in this picture?
It's not me. It's not me. It's not me.
Right, you're making it worse for yourself, but we'll carry this on at the police station, okay? You're making it a lot worse. By sitting lying to me, you're making it worse. All right?
I'm not lying to you.
You are lying to me, okay?
Why I lie? I'm not lying to you.
You're telling me that's not your picture when I can see that it is. I know you don't come from South Africa, but you're in possession. You're in possession of a South African passport, and I need to know why you've got it. Okay? All right, that's fine.
A lot of people we encounter do have various identities. It's easier for them to get benefits or medical aid under another name.
I don't get benefit from you.
I'm not saying you, I'm saying a lot of people we encounter, once they exhaust one name and they're still trying to stay in the country illegally, they'll just try to adopt another name and start using that.
Okay.
The Nigerian man was sentenced to 4 months in prison for possession of a forged document. He was also listed as an overstayer after breaching the conditions in his visa that was issued in Lagos. During 2008, in Britain, over 10,000 arrests were made by enforcement teams. Coming up, UK Border Force goes to Nigeria and meets the officers who root out the forgeries.
These are readily available on the street. I don't believe that this is a genuine wedding certificate.
It's genuine document.
Genuine documents.
And London's immigration team grills staff at a West End
We do need an address. We need an address to release you to. So we have to know where you're living.
Lagos, Nigeria, is one of the biggest cities in Africa. By 2015, its population had reached 25 million. Poverty is rife, and for those looking for a way out, Britain is the gateway to a new life. The Home Office receives so many applications from Nigerians wanting to come to Britain that they have a team of officers in Lagos to police the process. Joe Doran is one of these officers. It's Wednesday morning and he's on his way to work.
We have an unusual route coming into work here. We have several routes of getting into work. I've decided to take the boat today, mainly because the traffic sometimes can take 10 minutes, sometimes it can take over an hour. This does beat the tube on the way to work in the morning. Lagos is a vibrant place. It's definitely got character and soul. It can be very dangerous at times, but as long as you abide by the security restrictions that are given to us, it's generally okay. My role is an entry clearance officer here at the British Deputy High Commission in Lagos, and I consider visa applications for Nigerian citizens who wish to travel and visit the UK or settle in the UK.
Officer Doran is based at the British Deputy High Commission.
Morning.
Around 10,000 fraudulent documents are submitted with applications every year. Forgeries are readily available on the streets of Lagos. Some are right on the doorstep of the High Commission. Officer Doran is just one of the 34 entry clearance officers who decide if an applicant is suitable to enter the UK.
This gentleman has been called in for an interview today. As I was going through his documents, I noticed that his birth certificate, on the format of it, it contains spelling mistakes. His wedding certificate that he gave has been signed by a registrar whose documents we know have been abused. For example, here's a blank one, and these are readily available on the streets of Lagos, and that you can just fill the parts in yourself.
The man has also submitted a suspect copy of his sponsor's passport.
I mean, this photocopy of a passport, I mean, that is a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy. That has been photocopied so many times that the details are no longer really clear. All right, if you can just call in this gentleman for me, please.
The man has submitted documents he maintains are genuine. Now Joe must decide if his story is credible.
Morning, sir. Just come and take a seat for me. The application form, did you complete it yourself?
Yes, sir.
And are all the details correct?
Yes, sir.
Why do you wish to go to the UK?
For family visits.
What's your relationship with your sponsor?
Cousin.
First cousin, second cousin?
First cousin.
How many children does he have? This is your cousin, you're going to be staying with him?
He's my cousin, but I don't...
You do know, because you wrote it in the application form.
But I think it's two children now.
2 children?
Yeah.
Right, why did you write 1 child in your application form? That's what your sponsor has got, yes.
No, I thought...
You forgot?
I think it's...
Okay. Are all these documents you've provided to me here, are they all genuine?
It's original.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, you're saying that your wedding certificate
Yes.
is genuine?
It's genuine, yeah. It's original.
Your bank statement is genuine?
It's genuine.
The birth certificate of your child is genuine?
Yes.
What registry office was this registered at?
Eh?
Where did you register your child's birth?
I think it's Ikeja.
Ikeja? Yeah, you sure?
Eh?
Are you sure?
Making mistake with this.
Do you know what registry office you were married at?
Eh?
Do you know what registry office you were married at?
Registrar office. The registrar office is Ikeja.
Okay, and where did you register your child's birth?
My birth file. I think it's Ikeja, yeah.
Okay, you see this? I can obtain this from on the streets in Lagos. It's signed by exactly the same registrar that you are stating completed your marriage ceremony.
Yes.
Okay?
No.
And that's a blank one that I can just fill in. Yeah? Grace Adolu? Grace Adolu. Okay? Okay, are you telling me the truth?
Sir?
Are you telling me the truth?
Yes.
You are.
The applicant is sticking to his story, but Joe is not convinced. UK immigration officers have been working in Calais since 2002. It's their job to protect the border by stopping the clandestines who hide in lorries who want to enter Britain illegally. It's 2 a.m. and the crew are halfway into their shift. Officer Dave Percival has been working at Calais for 3 years and has seen nearly every trick in the book.
As you can see on this vehicle, it's got a tilt cord that goes through all the loops on the wagon, and then it goes through the winder with a seal on the back, so that's quite a secure vehicle. So vehicles without those, you can just pull the curtain up or even just open the back door. So you do need to have a little bit of security. Like this one that's just come in now, it's got no tilt cord, so you can undo all of these and then just lift the curtain out.
They have the latest kit, heartbeat monitors and CO2 probes. But sometimes all you need is a torch.
No seal! So you're automatically working on 2 millimetres.
It is, isn't it? Check old eagle eyes out over here. Yeah, mate. Yeah. Hello, mate. Hey, hello. Hey. Come on. This way. Here. This way.
They've found what's known as an
it's
axle
okay.
grabber.
Here.
at some point between the vehicle parking up and the vehicle coming through, someone's climbed onto the axle of the vehicle. So now our priority is to get him off and make sure that he's safe, because he looks like he's quite agile, so he might try and do a runner.
Stand up there for me. One person? One? Sure?
Where are you from? Vietnam? Yeah. It's very unusual to get Vietnamese hiding on the axle of a vehicle, which automatically for me thinks there must be someone else somewhere, so either in another vehicle or inside this one.
The vehicle is clear.
Vamos allá.
Good news for the driver. Each clandestine could cost him a fine of £2,000 if he has failed to carry out the proper security checks.
Where have you come from? Belgium? Yeah? Belgium, yeah? He's not going to talk, is he?
Yeah, papers for Fronte?
The axle grabber isn't saying much,
Up here?
but his paperwork tells some of his story.
Just one?
Papers from the French saying that it was removed. I think it said yesterday.
He was caught by the French only yesterday. UK border agency staff follow the procedure and hand him back to the French. In a few hours, he could be released to risk his life once again.
We hear stories quite regularly about people that have fallen off axles and been crashed under the wheels. It just shows the desperation of people, really, that they're that desperate to get to the UK that they will risk their lives for it.
Hiding in lorries isn't the only way to get into the UK illegally. In Lagos, Nigeria, the black market in fake documents is booming. And back at the British Deputy High Commission, Entry Clearance Officer Joe Doran has looked further into his applicant's case. He has noticed some alarming similarities with a previous fraudulent application.
This gentleman, who's also wearing the same shirt, same jacket and same tie, was refused only a few weeks ago. When he applied, he also submitted all the same documents our applicant now has submitted. The fact that they're wearing the same shirt, same tie and same jacket says to me that they are going to the same agent, and I believe that this is a package, a new package which has just started circulating. I'm just going to see what his relationship is between him and the previous application, because they're all claiming to be the same person's cousin. Thank you. Hello sir, take a seat there for me. Thank you for being so patient with us. Just want to confirm that you're employed as a lecturer at Babcock University.
Babcock University, yeah.
How many students go to Babcock University?
Over 50 students.
That's the whole population,
Yes,
is 50
it's-
students. Do you know a student by the name of Toheeb Yusuf?
I can't hear you very well.
You can't hear me very well?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm asking you, you're a lecturer at Babcock University where
Yes.
there are only 50 students. Do you know a student at that
100.
university by the name of Toheeb Yusuf?
Yeah, I think.
Yes? Is he a relative of yours? Are you
Pardon?
related to
Eh?
Mr. Yusuf?
What is it?
Are you related to Mr. Yusuf?
Yes, my cousin.
He's your cousin?
Yes, my cousin.
Do you know this person? You don't know this person?
No.
This person is your cousin. This is Toheeb Yusuf.
Eh?
This is Toheeb Yusuf, your
Yes.
cousin, who studies at your university where you are employed as a lecturer. He has produced exactly the same documents that you have. Exactly the same. Okay, you signed your application form, okay, and on that declaration, it tells you what the consequences are of making false representations, okay? So think about your answers. Is there anything you wish to say about your child's birth certificate? The wedding certificate? Is there anything you wish to tell me about these now?
For the certificate, marriage certificate.
Yeah. I've already showed you that these are readily available on the street. I don't believe that this is a genuine wedding certificate. Is there anything you wish to tell me, or are these documents still genuine?
It's genuine documents.
Genuine documents. Okay, thank you very much. You'd like to take a seat outside. You'll be given your decision in a few moments, okay?
Okay, sir.
Before making his final decision, Joe must refer the case to his entry clearance manager, Maurice Harper.
This gentleman, who in interview he said by the name was his cousin, when I showed him the picture, he didn't know who he was. All the sponsored documents are exactly the same.
It does look like a package, doesn't it, Joe?
Yeah.
The writing is the same on the application, which is obviously a whole package.
And I reckon
the
it's
letters are identical, so that's fine. There's definitely a refusal.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Like almost 53,000 other cases a year, the man will be denied entry to Britain.
Thank you for being so patient with us. I know it's taken some time. I have made my decision, and my decision has been to refuse your application. In brief, it's because you have submitted forged documents to me. Do you have anything to say to me?
I don't know.
There you go, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. I think you took it quite well. It's surprising at how many people will not appeal that decision. They will then reapply, apologising profusely, saying that they got ill-advised by an agent. They completed the form wrong, it was completed by an agent, they didn't realise that they didn't sign that declaration at the back to say that it was completed by an agent. At the moment, it doesn't automatically get banned for 10 years. It's only when he reapplies will the ban start from today's date.
With so many fraudsters caught out every day, it's physically impossible for the police to arrest them all. So the man is free to go. Coming up, the man applying for a UK visa despite the fact he's been living in Britain for 2 years.
Do you do any work? Casual work?
And it's showtime as enforcement officers hit London's West End.
Is this your real name?
Game's up, yeah?
Beckett House, London. The enforcement team have a tip-off that a restaurant in the West End is hiring illegal immigrants.
The intention is to talk to all staff present at the address and identify any persons illegally present or without the legal right to work in the UK. Okay, everybody happy with what they're doing? Any questions?
The restaurant is a Scotch steakhouse popular with tourists on London's Charing Cross Road.
We're doing downstairs.
Okay, kitchen downstairs.
The team splits up. Officers Lippington and Mitchell head downstairs to the kitchen whilst Officer Purewell questions the waitress.
How long have you had your visa for? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 3 months. So how long have you been in this country?
2.5, maybe 3 months. No, not 3, not more.
3 months.
Yeah.
Okay. When does your student visa finish?
Soon.
When?
I don't know if it's soon, maybe 2 weeks.
What are you studying at the moment?
Oh, sorry?
What do you study?
Just college, just sometimes just...
Are you studying English?
Yeah, just only English.
Okay, we're just going to do some checks with the Home Office. We're going to make a phone call because we have records of all visas issued. If you just wait here, yeah. Actually, you know what? Come around here. Come around here.
The waitress is Ukrainian and says she's a student.
Do you work?
If she's telling the truth, the officers will find her records on the Home Office database. Down in the kitchen, Officers Lippington and Mitchell are speaking to a chef.
Okay.
He says he's from Mongolia.
Speak English? Tiny little bit. Okay, don't worry.
You have to go upstairs with us, mate. Yeah?
Turn everything off. Just turn it all off. Okay. We've just got this one. Have you got any ID on you?
Yeah.
Any ID? Driver's license, passport?
It's not here.
It's not here. Where is it? It's at home?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, what's your name?
Sarangiran.
Like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
E.L.
E.L. And what's your family name?
It's John Dutch.
J or G?
It's James J.
J.
How old are you? 26.
And you're from Mongolia, yeah? How long have you been in the UK for? 3.5 years.
Yeah, about 3.
About 3 years. And what leave have you got to be in the UK?
What?
What leave have you got? You've got a work permit, visa.
Visa.
You've got a visa, have you? What type of visa? Sorry?
Student.
Student. Student visa. Just do a check. Okay.
When do you go to college then? When are you going to college next?
Now it's just working just part time.
When do you go to when have you been to college? Have you been to college recently?
Yeah.
When's the last time you've been to college?
Last 2 weeks.
2 weeks ago. So are you going to college at the moment?
Not yet.
Why not?
No. Because now I need money.
So you're not studying at the moment?
Not now.
Have you come to this country to work, or have you come to this country to study?
I want to learn English.
Is that why you've come here?
Yeah.
Is that the main reason why you're in this country, to go to college?
Yeah.
Okay. Basically, first of all, she's told my colleague that she's a student. She didn't know where she was studying. She said she last went to college like 2 weeks ago. She's come up with the truth. I didn't believe her at all.
The most that foreign students are allowed to work during term time is 20 hours a week. Both interviewees say their students, but the Mongolian chef has just admitted to working 40 hours.
Listen to me, no, you're here on a student visa, and you tell me you're working here 40 hours a week. When are you studying? So you're telling me you're working 40 hours a week and you're studying as well? Do you work 40 hours a week every week? No, just sometimes. Just sometimes. How many hours a week are you allowed to work when you're studying? Maximum is 20. 20 hours, yeah? So how can you, if you're working 40 hours, you're working more hours than you're allowed to, aren't you? And you've been working, not studying. Yeah?
Okay, that's lovely. Let's go with a no trace then. Yeah. All right. Thank you for your help. Thanks. Bye. Bye. No, it's definitely a no trace.
He doesn't appear to be on their database, which could mean he's given them a false name.
We can't find a visa for you. No, we can't find a visa. Where did you get your visa from? From Mongolia? Yeah. I'm not believing anything you're telling me at the moment. All right, because we can't find any trace in your systems. You're not able to show me a passport. I find it all quite difficult to believe, yeah?
There's another way to find his ID.
Where's the scanner?
I think he's going to have to go to the police station.
Not you,
you're okay. Yeah, let's scan him.
Officers Lippington and Mitchell are looking for a fingerprint match on their biometric database. In Calais, 20 million tons of freight pass through the port every year. Even with British and French border controls, it's impossible to search every lorry passing through the port. This driver says he has already been stopped by the French.
2, 4. Can we open? The driver's indicated he's had 4 taken out.
The UK team want to check for themselves to make sure none were missed.
There's something wrapped up in black bags. Until I get down there, I can't actually say whether it's a clandestine.
My colleague is going to look at that one. I'm going to look at this one. We don't know what it is at the moment. It could just be bags.
I'm going to go down. I'm not sure whether if this one is okay.
Yeah.
Oh, moving?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello. Okay.
Well, that one is open anyway. Hello?
Hello.
Do Do you want to take it off? You okay?
Nationality? Vietnam?
From Vietnam?
Vietnam. He's actually wrapped himself.
Okay. Are you okay? You're okay? Okay. Just have to make sure, because they've been covered in plastic bags over their head, that they're all right.
The fact that they've wrapped themselves in plastic is something that we've seen quite a few times. It's very, very dangerous because they don't know how long they're going to be in the lorry for, but they do it because they think they can get around the CO2 control. They think that by breathing into a plastic bag, it's going to contain the carbon dioxide that they produce by breathing, so that it's not going to be in the vehicle, so when we probe it, we won't pick it up. Obviously, it doesn't really work and they're putting their lives at risk. You alright? Calais? You're still in Calais, yeah? That? Very silly. Doesn't work. We still found you.
See how much sweat he's got on him from sitting in that bag for too long.
Sit down over here. Sit down.
That's the bag the man was hiding in. It's been taped in the middle, so it's almost human length.
With no documents and no answers, the team have no idea who these people are. They're handed over to the French, but could be back again within hours.
Oh, they will try again. No doubt about it. These guys are pretty desperate to get to the UK. And as you can see, they'll use any means. We'll probably see them again tomorrow. We might have even seen them yesterday.
Back in Lagos, hopeful visa applicants arrive at the British Deputy High Commissioner. Applicants are called for interview when their application forms alone are not enough to qualify for a visa. This morning, Officer Andy Megan is dealing with a difficult case. The applicant lived in Britain as an illegal immigrant for 2.5 years under a false identity. He's returned to Nigeria to apply for a legitimate UK visa.
He's decided, probably on the advice of a solicitor, to come back to Nigeria and make his application properly as the spouse of someone in the United Kingdom.
Although his wife is from Lagos, the couple met in Britain and they had their first child.
Have a seat, please.
All of this while he was still an illegal immigrant. Despite his dishonest past, he is now prepared to tell all. By coming clean, he hopes he will be allowed to live in Britain legally. The man has agreed to be filmed, but does not want his face shown.
So when did you first go to the UK?
Yeah, that was 2005, February.
Okay, so how long were you in the UK for before you two guys met up?
Yeah, I think about 2.5 years. So,
2.5 years?
Yeah.
So what did you do for money during this time, 2.5 years?
Yeah, just the guide, I've got a friend as well who accommodated me, and sometimes he do give me some money, accommodated me, I don't have
Did you do any work? Casual work?
No.
Come on, you've told the truth and everything else here.
Yeah, no.
No, you didn't take any jobs?
No.
Okay.
No.
Have you ever applied for a place to study in the UK?
No.
No? You sure?
That was early 2004.
Early 2004, before all this?
Yeah.
I remember he told me you applied for.
I applied 2004. That
You're
was,
married now, she's allowed to hit you?
Yeah, that was, which school is that? University of East London.
Okay, an outmoded term, but when did you guys start dating?
That's, was it in April, May, I can't really...
What, in 2007?
Yeah.
Did you tell her at that time how you got to the UK?
To be honest, I didn't firstly told her.
I wouldn't have, never mind.
To be honest, I didn't tell her.
Okay.
But then, as time goes on, she wants to know.
Yeah.
But later...
Later on you told her. So when did you contact your solicitor?
Last year.
Last year, yeah.
Maybe January.
Yeah, he said he's going on holiday when he comes back.
Yeah.
So after then...
So we're talking early 2008?
Yeah.
What did they say?
So he said, no, go back to Nigeria.
Okay. Okay, I've got no other questions for you. If you want to meet outside, I'll look through the documents and I'll let you know what my decision is.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Back in the London steakhouse, and the Ukrainian waitress can't be found on the Home Office database.
Do you want to go to a police station? No, you don't. Do you want to go to police stations? Are not very nice. It's really hot outside, and the cells are not very nice. So, are you going to tell me the truth?
Marriott Court. You're going to take us to Marriott again? Just there.
You don't have a visa. So how did you come to the UK? Did you come in on an airplane? Did you come on a train?
Why don't you have keys to your house? Train.
The train, yeah? You came on the train? Okay. And when you came to this country, did you see an immigration officer?
Yep.
And explain to me what happened when you came. Did you show the immigration officer your passport?
Yep.
And what did you have a visa in your passport? No. And did the immigration officer ask you any questions?
No, no questions.
No questions. So they didn't ask you no questions and they let you through? That doesn't happen.
I just buy in Poland in like market.
Well, can we not get into your house? Can you not show us your passport?
No good letter.
You can't show us your passport.
Okay, so somebody brought you here illegally. Yeah? Thank you. That's all we wanted to know.
She finally
just to
admits
remind
she
you,
doesn't have a UK visa and has paid an agent €3,000 to get into Britain.
But the situation is that you've told me under caution that you've entered the UK illegally by using someone else's documents to come here. You're aware that you're illegally, therefore you're under arrest. We're going to take your personal belongings and we're going to go to our van. Do you understand that? Okay?
Now the officers need the woman's passport to begin the removal process. She has told them it's at her house. This will be their next destination.
We're going to go to the house. We're going to see if we can find their passport. If we can find their passport, we're going to send her home. Just take a seat. Watch your head as you get in. Nice and slow. Just take a seat.
Back inside the restaurant, officers Lippington and Mitchell have a positive match for the Mongolian chef.
Possible identification.
Let's see. Hang on, let's write it down. Is this you?
Is this you? Is this your real name?
Game's up, yeah? Is that you?
There's nothing to worry about. Don't worry about. We've got a nice lady.
Yeah?
She's going to search you, okay?
You're going to tell us the truth, yeah?
Yeah,
Asylum.
finished.
Date of birth, 18th of the 11th, 79.
Yeah.
You're good,
Mongolian.
yeah, but not that good.
Ah.
Seeing you.
You've seen immigration before.
Yeah, he's a face.
We get there in the end, and you've just caused yourself so much more trouble by lying.
He gave them a false name. Now they can cross-check his real identity with the Home Office database, and there's a surprising result.
Is he not Faz?
No, he's been removed. He's come back again.
Coming up, a painful decision for the Ukrainian waitress, as she's forced to choose between her friends and being locked up in a detention centre.
Okay, which one is it? I really know which house is it.
In central London, officers Lippington and Mitchell now know the identity and immigration status of the Mongolian chef. He's a failed asylum seeker who's previously been removed from Britain.
I'm coming from Becker House Arrest Team. I was wondering if I could do a check on a name that's...
This gentleman gave us a false story under caution. We've got his true identity and we know that he's a Mongolian who was previously removed. So what we're trying to do now is find out how he's re-entered the country. We're checking we know what his real name is. We're checking the systems now to find out if we've got any record of re-entering the country.
In August last year, we sent you home, didn't we? Yes? Right. So how did you get back in?
Someone just told me she used someone's passport again.
You used someone else's passport again, yeah? Was it a Mongolian passport that you used when you came back in? Was it a friend's passport or was it your passport? It wasn't a friend or anything. Did you pay money to someone? How much money? You paid £1,000.
This gentleman is under arrest for illegal entry. Yeah. Okay? You're under arrest for illegal entry. I remind you, you're under caution, yeah?
Interesting.
I'm putting these on.
The man was sent back to Mongolia after spending 2 days in detention.
It's not the first time he's been here. Watch your head, be careful.
In Lagos, Nigeria, Officer Megan has made a decision about the man who lived illegally in Britain but now wants a genuine British visa.
Ah, you're there. I thought you said you weren't there. Right. You'll be pleased to know that your solicitor was correct. I'm going to issue you your visa. Okay? So you can go back to the UK.
Thank you.
Shouldn't have done it that way in the first place.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. God bless you.
We wanted a good solicitor first of all. Okay?
Thanks
Thank you very
much.
much.
God bless you, sir.
It's an adventure you've had.
Thank you.
2005.
Thank you.
You could say they're a bit happy. Madame was quite ecstatic, so she's quite happy. And he's relieved. That's it. Sometimes we do bring a bit of sunshine into people's lives. Not very often.
Yeah. Irina, you're going to give me your address now.
In London, the
Would that
enforcement
trust in your
team need to
boyfriend?
find the Ukrainian waitress's passport
You have
so
to
they
believe
can
me.
deport her. But she refuses to tell them where she lives.
Because her boyfriend's illegal as well. She doesn't want us to go around and have the boyfriend. And she said there's 8 other Ukrainian people living there. So I don't think she wants to be responsible for other people's fate.
The woman hasn't given them an address, but the team have managed to find one by using her mobile phone.
We're going to an address in Lewisham. We're going to try and find this Ukrainian lady's passport so we can send her home. What's your head? Yeah, it's all right, it's all right. Just go on the pavement first because there's a road. Number 27, yeah?
I'm sorry?
Number 27, this is your house?
No.
No, you don't live here then?
No.
We're going to try the house anyway. I've been given this address as your house. Okay, all right. We'll try it. We'll try it. If not, we'll go back in the van, all right? Okay, yeah? All right.
I think they lived in this flat, but nobody there now. It's empty now, is it? It's empty.
The address is out of date. The current resident tells the officers a group of Ukrainians moved out months ago.
What's your head? Sit down in the front as you sitting before, please. Sit down, please. All right, all right.
We can't release you without an address. You're illegally in the UK, so we have to know where you're living. We don't like detaining people, and we don't detain them unless we have to.
The woman lives with her boyfriend and 8 other Ukrainians.
But we do need an address.
She doesn't want to get
We need
them
an address to
into
release you
trouble
to.
with immigration.
Are you ready to give me No, we're not going to take everybody. No, we just need your address to verify where you live. I'll talk to your boyfriend. I'll call him.
You need to think about yourself.
Too many problems.
You need to think about yourself, don't you?
Will you take us there? Will you take us there? Will you take us to your house? Please.
I can show you.
Could you show us, yeah? She's given us a road which is just around the corner from here, and she's 50-50 about telling us where she lives, so we're going to take her there. And I've told her our options, and it's down to her now to tell us where she lives, otherwise she's just going to be detained. You got them keys?
Down right down here, yeah?
Helen, you got them keys, innit? Okay, which one is it? Irina, which house is it? You're not going to tell us?
I can't, sorry.
You have to tell us. You have to tell us.
She can't bring herself to give up her friends. It leaves the team with no option. Without her passport, she will have to serve time in a detention centre waiting for her emergency removal papers.
If it means she's in detention for weeks, maybe a month, that's going to happen. We've given all the options. We've helped her as much as we can. But we have to draw a line somewhere. She's going to be detained and we're going to send her home.
While the Ukrainian waitress was in Colnbrook Detention Centre, her passport was handed in by a friend. She claimed asylum, which was refused, and after spending over 2 months in detention, was removed back to the UK.